Terry. Welcome back to another episode of Flavors in the Heart. Today we are going to make pan-roasted chicken with a fennel and apple slaw. These two items just go hand in hand. The deep flavors of the chicken and the slaw is just something very special. It's unique. There's so many things that you can do with slaws. I should do at least 5 episodes on slaws because there's just a variety of them which are great. But today we're going to use fennel, and fennel is from the carrot family, if you did not know that. So, and then this recipe calls for a honey crisp, and so this is the new Cosmic Crisp. It's part of the honey crisp family, but it was just released this year in 2019, and they've been working on it for I think 15 years. So I was very interested. They're the same price as Honey Crisp, so be prepared. But they're delicious, they're fresh, they're juicy, and that's what's going to add that special taste to this slaw. So, so let's get started. I've got my chicken here. I like to do the chicken thighs, as you know, so I've already salted, peppered my chicken thighs, let them rest, get to room temperature. And then for this recipe, we're going to, let me get my screen here down. So it's 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and the same for the pepper. In addition to what you do with the chicken, salt and pepper both sides, obviously. And then 1 large fennel bulb, and 1 apple, and each of the fennel bulbs and the apple, you're going to get your lovely mandolin out, and you're going to make them as thin as possible. This was a gift, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's just so easy to work with. My recommendation is that what you do is you save that $10 coupon at Bed Bath & Beyond, and then you just keep perusing their sales, and when they have a sale, then you get in there and jump on it. That's something that you'll have in your kitchen for the rest of your life. So, so you're going to slice those the fennel up into some nice thin pieces, something that is doable. And then the same thing with the apple. I just quartered it and cored it, and then sliced it down. And then you're going to need 8 chicken thighs. Half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We're going to pan fry this, so I'd rather you use vegetable oil because we want to get a nice sear on the chicken, and so vegetable oil has a higher burning temperature. And then a 1/4 cup of basil, and you're just going to tear it up, so it's very rustic. So let's get cooking. So right now we've got our chicken over here. We've patted it dry. We've salt and peppered. And I have my pan on right now that is heating up. And then I've also got my oven set at a temperature of 450. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook the chicken on each side for roughly about 5 minutes, get a nice golden crust on it. And then we're going to transfer it over to one of my favorite pieces of equipment, which is the grate here, because it lets all that chicken fat go down, and then you get the nice crispy chicken. So we'll transfer it to that, and then we'll cook it in the oven for about 15 minutes and pull it out and let it rest and then eat up. So let's get started with the chicken and get that going. So we've got it here, and so what I like to do is, I didn't mention actually I'm going to do some garlic powder today. I was up in the cabinet and I saw it and I was like, yes, garlic can never hurt. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle it with garlic, and then we're going to follow it up with the cayenne pepper, and then we're going to start with the skin down because we want to get that going. And so just do a light dusting where you can see it, and of course, if you saw the jar, my favorite spice shop, Penzeys, I was there last week and enjoyed myself with all the sales and everything. So, all right, so we're going to stick this in the frying pan, skin down, 5 minutes each side. Once we get done, come on back, and we're going to put it in the oven and let it cook, and then we're going to start this slaw. So let's get cooking. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our sour cream. We're going to put this in a bowl. Because eventually we're going to do is we're going to stick all of our ingredients in there, and we're going to mix it up, and then we're going to stick the apple and the fennel in there. I want to give a shout out to my special friend Karen, who got me these wonderful cooking utensils with little things on it, including one with my very own Terry's Kitchen. So thank you, Karen. Greatly appreciated. All right, so we've got the sour cream in there. We're going to do the lemon. It's going to give that nice zest. The salt and pepper. And then we're just going to mix this up. And this is going to give a nice acidic dressing. And make sure you get it all in there. And you're not using that much sour cream. I mean, it's 3 tablespoons, so let's get this apple out of the way. All right, so we've got our fennel. We're going to go ahead and stick that in there. And then we're going to go ahead and stick our apple in there. We can break that up. All right, so you're going to mix this up and then set it aside. Actually, I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator because I want to get it nice and chilled so that when the chicken is all rested, then we're going to go ahead and have a little of slaw with the chicken. So come on back. All right, so we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 of them in there. And so we're approaching our 5-minute marker. And we're going to flip them over. We've already put the cayenne pepper, the garlic on there, and let them cook for 5 minutes. And then make sure you're preheating that oven for 450, okay? Oh, it smells so good. I mean, just simple baked chicken with salt, pepper, some cayenne. And I can smell that garlic in there. Really nice. All right, here we go. Stick this in the oven. I always have my rack, my top rack in the middle because most of the time that's where you want everything to be. So it's just standard. I have it in the middle, but I should tell you that to have that rack in there in the middle. All right, so come back 15 minutes and we're going to pull this out, check it out, and let it rest, and then we're going to do some tasting. All right, so it took a little bit longer, and that's why I say that, you know, it's so important to use your temperature, your thermometer, to check the temperature. Make sure it's at that 165, 170. And because on the outside it looks crisp and clean, and so it's just better to be on the safe side. And you know, it's a $5 gadget. So all right, so let's pull it out of the oven and see what we got here. Oh, beautiful! Look at that crispy chicken. Yes. All right. So we're gonna let this rest for 5 minutes, and then come on back. All right, so we've pulled it out of the oven, let the chicken rest. I put the basil on top, and as a nice garnish. And let's get into this juicy chicken. I think that you know, one of the things I always tell you is when you salt and pepper the chicken, it locks in that flavor. On top of that, speaking of that, let me turn this off. When you do the chicken at 450, I mean, you're searing it in there. So this is going to be a really nice, juicy chicken. And then the outside is nice and crusty, which is the bomb. Oh, it's still steaming just a little, so. Nothing overwhelming about it. Again, we just did the salt, the pepper, the cayenne pepper, and then the garlic, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's just simple. I love what you can do with the thighs. And this package of thighs was like $3 and something. And you can feed 8 people on that. So, and let's just try this this slaw. I'm really big on, slaws are great, but I don't like to make them too small. I'm more of a chunky slaw person. There's just so many flavors in it. It's just absolutely incredible. So while it rested in the kitchen, in the refrigerator, in the mixture that we did with the sour cream and the salt and pepper, the lemon juice, and all that, it softened up the fennel and it made it more pleasant to the palate. And then you've got that taste of that cosmic apple, which is just like the bomb. It's just incredible, and it accents the chicken very well, so it's very enjoyable. So I hope this recipe makes it into your recipe book, and that you've enjoyed this episode with me. Until next time, let's get cooking.